Hey, Internet. So, step one, John Mayer on vinyl. Step two, learn selfie mode. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. So I tried filming this once, and this whole hold the camera thing is nonsense. So apologies about that. But this is the horribly messy recording station we should not put on the internet. This is the new addition to the family. It is a Gottlieb high hand from 1960 or something. I don't know. This probably says on here 1973 Gottlieb high hand. So this is what I do for a day job. So since I haven't done a video in a while, I just want to do something super quick, give you a little bit of pinball nerd stuff, because this is my day job and it's a nightmare, but I love it. So this is a machine from 1973. This is a schematic from 1973, which is a torture device they use to almost make you understand how pinball machines work, but not quite. So I'm working with a mentor right now to learn how to read these and learn how to repair these machines. So my boss sent this home with me to be my torture test subject and see if I can get it working. So when I got it, it was stuck in this part of the schematic. So it would fire, these two switches would close. They're on the score motor. Score motor is this guy. This is kind of the heart of the beast. So it runs, when something tells it to go, it runs a third of a cycle like that, and it closes any number of these stacks of switches. It's basically a cog, right? So a wheel and a cog. This machine has no computer chips. It's an electromechanical machine. So it's pre-80s. That's when they started doing that stuff. I think 70s, late 70s. Who knows? So anyways, when I got it, it was stuck firing these big 110 volt reset solenoids. These guys that reset the drop targets on top of the playfield. So the drop targets are these, right? And when you hit them, they fall down. So that's how pinball works. Now you know. So anyways, these were stuck firing, so the machine was stuck in a loop in this section of the schematic. And what it was doing, it would go chunk, 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 and that's these two pulses right here, which correlate precisely with these switches. So something was telling the game that those weren't working, and it needed to keep firing them, and it would just get stuck in that part of the reset cycle. So I came up to here. This is the score motor, and this line means all of these things are the things that can make the score motor run, right? It's a diagram of a circuit, just like in third grade when they gave you a battery and two wires and a light bulb, right? This is your light bulb, the score motor, and then the wires and your battery actually is the wall plug down here, which goes through a transformer, which drops the voltage from 110 to 6 volts and 25 volts. So it's the same thing. There's just 200 layers of all of this stuff that makes the game work, right? It's all simple circuits. So I figured that out. I checked all of these things. I found a problem on the S, which is the start relay, which is, you don't care, but it's this one right here. So I found a switch that was out of place there. I fixed that. I was sure that was my issue, and of course nothing changed. So then I talked to my mentor, got some more advice. We learned how to read the schematic even better, and this little coin switch right here was stuck closed. So the coin switch, this is the problem, is finding where this stuff is. So coins, that looks right. Zero ball count, zero replay button, motor, no. Coin shoot, switch number 1, yes, that one, no, but it was 2. So 2. So this switch right here was stuck closed, which means that motor 1C and motor 2B, normally closed switches, those are different. Well, but they're closed. They're closed. So those are connected. So we can ignore all of those for now. So because this circuit was stuck closed, the start relay was continuously energized. So that's what made it stuck in this cycle. So as soon as I fixed that switch, this start relay dropped out, and it would then, when you turn the game on, it just goes chunk chunk, fires those 4 solenoids twice, and is then ready to go play game mode. So then of course it worked once, but none of the scoring worked, and then it wouldn't play anymore. So now we have another issue. This is the scoring section. None of this works. So then you find what switches are in common. Like if the V relay was out, then none of those 4 lines would work because they all have V. But in order for these 4 lines to be out, the N, M, L, K, and K relays would all have to be out. So it's less likely that it's those. But the V is only half of the functionality of that unit. It only cares about the run out, which is when a 9 turns into a 10, basically, when you switch columns in your math. So now I'm looking at probably something on the R relay, which is the hold relay, or possibly a problem with the motor 4A switch, but the score motor wasn't even running. It wasn't even trying to score points. So that's an issue. But now the current issue is it won't even start a game. So then we're back to, there's an issue with the start button, which is called the replay button. So that isn't working, which is probably because the 0 position we're not hitting the 0 position on the replay unit, which is this beast back here, which keeps track of what ball you're on, basically. So I probably got to rebuild that whole thing to get it to start a game again. So I don't know why it worked once and then not again, but that's kind of a common thing. Like it'll do a thing once and then you break something and it doesn't start again. So that's where I'm at with this. So I got to figure out why it's not starting the game. So we'll dig into this, understanding this section of the schematic next. But I'll let you know when it starts flipping and we can get it out of the way and get back to the disc golf. All right, Internet. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.